Wait for it. And yes, this is a Roger Staubach jersey, by the way. Got it in the mail this morning. Never got a jersey like this before. That's of this style. I like it. But anyways, Dallas Cowboys versus the LA Chargers, man. This was far from a perfect performance, especially by our fucking secondary, especially in terms of discipline with all the goddamn penalties. But nonetheless, I am very surprised that we are walking out of here with a win under our belts, with all the adversity we had to fucking go up against this week, with losing Collins, with losing Lawrence, with losing Randy Gregory. You know, we all thought that our front seven would really take a step back, you know, with those two gone. But for the most part, I think they played lights out football. You know, Austin Eckler, I feel, you know, we were able to, you know, contain him pretty well. I mean, we were in Justin Herbert's face just about all game, but man, he just kept fucking finding ways to sling that ball to a receiver nearby or sling it out of bounds, you know. For those of you who didn't catch this morning's report, Micah Parsons started. He started as a defensive end for this game. So I guess they must have heard what I said about not feeling confident at all about, you know, our backup pass rushers. I guess they agreed because, you know, they started him as an edge rusher, and, you know, he couldn't really get out of, you know, Rashawn Slater's grasp. I mean, really nobody could. Chase Young couldn't even get past him last week. But, you know, he was able to bully the other guy, you know, at right tackle pretty goddamn well. We were in Justin Herbert's face, you know, for the most part of the game, but he just kept fucking finding ways to not get sacked until Micah Parsons got a sack for 18 yards on that one drive, which, you know, made them settle for a field goal. And by the way, Chargers fans, can we please mutually agree that the officiating in this game was just pure fucking dog water? It was just so terrible. And, you know, it didn't seem like the officials were really on the same page at all as far as, you know, what constitutes as a pass interference. You know, I don't really get it. You know, it seemed like, you know, sometimes they were letting them play, but sometimes they were going to be really strict. You know, like on that tipped pass that would have been an interception for us, but they called it back because, I don't know, number 27's left hand was sort of grasping the Chargers player's jersey. I didn't really see much there, but, you know, anyways, Ezekiel Elliott, man, you know, he had a solid game, you know, he got like 70 yards in today's game off of 16 carries, I believe. Tony Pollard balled the fuck out. He got over 100 yards in today's game pretty well. Pretty good performance by his part. Dak Prescott, he threw a very ugly pass. I don't think it was the wrong read. I thought, you know, he definitely could have squeezed that one in with to CeeDee Lamb, but I think it was just a very bad pass. Just threw it straight to Asante Samuel Jr. It's good. But outside of that, Dak Prescott, he played a pretty solid game. Didn't throw a touchdown pass or anything, but you know, he protected the ball pretty well. Offensive line, I think they did a great job. Terrence Steele, I think he heard all the shit that Cowboys fans were talking about him, you know, me included. I'm not singling myself out. You know, I said that Dak Prescott was in a very dangerous position with Terrence Steele's fucking presence on the football field. But man, he was able to, handle Joey Bosa pretty fucking well, which is very surprising to me. I mean, the difference with this offensive line's play with and without Zach Martin is just it's night and day, in my opinion. I feel like the offensive line, for the most part, they played a pretty fucking good game. CeeDee Lamb, he balled out once again. Man, we almost fucking scored on that very last play before halftime, but we just couldn't do it. Our defense, I feel good about our front seven. Our front seven is nice. But the secondary, they just felt, they just looked lost for the most part of today's game, right? They just looked lost with, leaving Jared Cook wide open, with leaving Mike Williams wide open, with leaving, Keenan Allen wide open on, one or two instances, I just don't think that the safeties were really in sync with the rest of the defense. Jalen Smith, I feel like he improved in today's game. I feel like that he was able to shut down a couple plays today. I mean, he probably went from my favorite player on the team to my least favorite player on the team in fucking record time. But I feel like he stepped it up in today's game and, was able to make a couple solid plays for the defense. Let me just see what else I got here. I feel like the tight ends play today was pretty good. Dalton Schultz, man, we really have some with Dalton Schultz. I like him. Zerline, he was very consistent today. He hit all the field goals, although he came very close to missing one of them. He came very close to missing the second point after, but nonetheless, he made every kick from today's game, which is solid to see. But just goddamn, he is so inconsistent. Kellen Moore's offense, man, just came out fucking first quarter, guns a-blazing, but then second and third quarter, offense is stalling, just team overall was just horribly undisciplined, just kept getting, flagged and shit. Definitely took a few steps back, but eventually we picked it up again in the fourth quarter. But I mean, it is possible, believe it or not, to score on back-to-back possessions, and it is possible to score, on turnovers. We got 2 turnovers, 2 interceptions today. One of them was very fucking clutch, by the way. Number 18, DeMonte Casey, came through with a huge interception, in the end zone. Great job by him. And on those 2 interceptions, we only got 3 points out of that. I'm not saying we need, to play perfect offense 100% of the time, but I mean, that is a very fair criticism to make. When we have golden opportunities to, add to the lead that we have, we fumble it, and we just keep beating ourselves, and we just keep, giving the opposing team more opportunities to make it close or to, come back, and we just cannot fucking have that. That's losing football. So, let's see. Ezekiel Elliott, like I said, I felt like he had a very solid game today. But if you really want to see him go off, I would wait till next week, especially with Brandon Graham. I believe he's out for the season because he tore his Achilles earlier today versus the San Francisco 49ers. So I would wait next week if you're really just dying to see him ball out. Let's see. Officials were bad. Undisciplined football. I mean, that roughing into the kicker, you just cannot fucking do that. That gave, dude, that gave the Chargers a whole new set of downs, and that's inexcusable. You just can't do that. Micah Parsons got his first sack today for 18 yards. I think that was a bullshit. Man, I don't think Justin Herbert was in his grasp at all. I think he was still trying to fight away from him and threw that ball. But thankfully they counted it as a sack, because that was Micah Parsons' first sack of his career. And, they had to settle for a field goal because of that. Outside of that, front seven was good. Secondary looked lost at a bunch of times. Defense only allowed 1 touchdown. I mean, at the end of the day, this defense is still a massive improvement from last year's. But, that's not what the standard is. That's not what the standard should be. Oh, it's better than last year's defense, which was literally worst defense in franchise history. Maybe second to our 2013 defense. It's definitely improving. I just want to see the secondary not be as lost next week versus the Eagles. Front seven without those two badasses, Randy Gregory and DeMarcus Lawrence. I feel like that I believe they did a pretty damn good job. Front seven was good for the most part. Overall, we were just flying to the ball. Pretty aggressive on some plays. You love to see that. Got a couple turnovers. Second straight week with multiple turnovers. You'd love to see that shit. And offense, they can fly down the field, no problem. It's just nobody's going to stop this offense but themselves. But they need to stop stalling, and they need to stop fucking interrupting the momentum that their drives are going, and just, play more disciplined and, just be better in sync, and not have a whole 2-quarter fucking stall period like we had, today versus the Chargers. But anyways, man, outside of that, that's really all I got to say about today's game. 1-1, tied with the whole fucking rest of the NFC East. I feel like our biggest threat, as of now, maybe the Philadelphia Eagles. Maybe. Had to see a little bit more of Heineke over there in Washington, which, by the way, that fucking game was hilarious on Thursday night. But anyways, man, 1-1. We have a whole 7 days. Our next game is until Monday night. We have a whole 7 days to address and go over these mistakes and play more disciplined football. I'll see you guys next time, and peace.